I was about to go to sleep just now, but I remembered this moment when I was in Korea. This happened in Shinonyeon-yok, which is Shinonyeon Station. When I was taking a train from there to Gangnam Station, I was basically at the bottom of this escalator waiting at the train platform, and I was like having some cookies. And then she came down the escalator, and I was like watching her as she came down. And my first thought was just like, yeah, she looks pretty, like it was like a yes, basically, Um, yeah, she was dressed well, she was pretty, and yeah, she was also kind of my type in terms of like her body and everything. Like she had a nice figure and everything. But I was like pretty dismissive. I don't know. I was thinking like, it's probably kind of gonna be the same as everything, like whatever, like what's the point? I'm not even gonna be serious about her or anything. So I was just like, whatever. So I like didn't say anything, and then I was like just whatever, like throwing away the package of the cookies. And she walked past me and headed toward the platform. And I was like just lining up behind her, and the train came in. And I think that's like when she was like kind of turning around, and she saw me standing behind her, and she like turned back and looked at the train that was coming in again. And I kind of had that feeling at the time that she was checking for me, actually, but not in a good way. Like I thought that she might be thinking like something weird about me or whatever, because I was like looking at her when she was coming down the escalator. Yeah, so anyway, like the train opens the doors and we go in, and I sit down, and like in Korea, that is actually like such a whatever detail, but I want to tell the whole story of how it went. Actually, let's say that this is the train, right? The length of the train, this board here. The seats will be kind of facing towards each other. They are all like this and like that, like just on the sides of the train facing each other. Cannot really do it the other way. But yeah, anyway, like it's different from country to country how the seats are arranged in a train. But anyway, I sat down here, and then there was another person between her and me, right? So I'm sitting here, like I'm the thumb, right? Another person sitting here, and after that, it's her. And it's only like one station or max two stations, I think, from Shinonyeon to Gangnam where we were going. I think it was just one station. But yeah, we sat down, and then like halfway there, she just kind of stands up and stands like facing me, in front of me. And so that's when I was kind of like getting those kind of vibes, But I didn't really think too much of it. I was still being like very dismissive. And then we got off the train, and she like walked out in front of me. And while everybody was like going out of the train and just heading straight for the escalators to go up, she, instead of like following the curve of the people, like people were kind of like walking in a curve towards the stairs, whatever, she was just kind of going straight into the empty space of the platform, and then just doing something on her phone. And again, I just had that kind of feeling that she's like making herself available or whatever. But I really, to be honest, don't like the whole I don't like this whole thing. Like I don't like actually to approach women. Um because I don't know, it's like this thing where if you feel like you're just doing it too often, then you're just gonna be looked at as somebody who's weird. And so I kind of just try to reserve it for when I'm actually really interested in somebody or when I feel like they really like me. But she wasn't really giving off any real signal or whatever. So again, I didn't think anything of it. And I just walked straight past her and just headed for the stairs and went up. But basically, as soon as I passed her, she kind of also came up the stairs. And then we got to the gates. Like in Korea, the subway system is such that when you enter any station, there's like gates before any before you get to any of the platforms. Like the only way you can get to any of the trains is by passing those payment gates. And everybody has like either their credit card or they have like a transportation card that you can charge to use and whatever. Like it's like a prepaid card, whatever. So we get there and we kind of pass at the same time, but she goes through like smoothly and I kind of get stuck. And it just happens sometimes because of my wallet. Like I just keep my card in the wallet, or like that's how I did it at the time. Um, so sometimes when I don't hold it at the correct distance from the scanner, it will scan like the transportation card together with the rest of my cards in my wallet, and then there's like an error and I get stuck. So I get stuck there and I'm like, and like going back and like trying to scan it again. And as I'm doing that, I kind of look up and I see her like looking back at me. Like she's just kind of like she just stopped behind the gate and she's like looking at me as I'm like fumbling with the gate. And she has this kind of look of concern on her face and kind of like she's ready to like step in and help me. So that's when it got kind of obvious. Um, and but then yeah, I just scanned and it worked and I went through. And so that's when she also turned around again and started walking. But the thing is, like, by the time she turned around, there was some guy um who came up behind her and she just like bumped straight into him. And I don't know, the guy dropped something because of that. I think he dropped like his headphones or something. And so she's like very embarrassed and like picking it up and giving it to him or whatever, something like that. And I just see that and I'm just thinking that's so cute. Um but then so then I thought, okay, well, she kind of made it obvious now, so I'm gonna go talk to her. But then she was apparently like embarrassed because she started to walk very like not very fast, but like she kind of started to kind of walk in a hurry. And I think it's because she could also kind of see that um I was like being dismissive, like kind of ignoring some of her signals, like, why she's standing up and like I don't know. But it's like, okay, how do you know really? Women. But yeah, at that point it was kind of obvious, so I thought, okay, I would talk to her. But then she was like kind of walking off in this kind of hurried fashion, seemingly like embarrassed. And the thing is that even though I wanted to talk to her, I would have had to like really catch up. And I was actually late for my dance practice. Like I was practicing salsa and bachata in Korea at that time regularly. And so I was late for that and I didn't want to be late for my class. So in that moment I was just like, whatever, and I just went to class. But this is one of those things, like one of those moments which later you look back on and like in a moment it wasn't really significant to me. It wasn't really that significant at all to me. But then later when I thought back, I was like I was just regretting it a lot, thinking, damn, like, she was cute and I liked how she I don't know, how she fumbled the whole situation with that guy. Yeah, so I don't know. That's just a story that I thought of again just now. And I felt like I want to tell the story because it would be kind of a shame if I forgot it and then if I never thought of it again or anything. Yeah, but that's basically like the story of the girl that I haven't met, and it's kind of a sad story for me because I would have loved to meet her actually. And yeah, it's also like a part of me is thinking like, what if like I make this video and then people find her, or the girl is like, the girl finds it and she's like, oh, I know you, you're that guy. That would be so sick. But yeah, anyway, I actually even made a picture in the mirror that day. I still remember. I will just put it up on the screen. I just made that picture in whatever hotel that I was the same night that this happened. So I don't know. For whatever it's worth, I'll just put it up here. Um yeah, yeah, that's it. Take care.